10 Most Infamous Crime Families in History. Throughout history, organized crime families have both terrified and fascinated the public and authorities alike. From the heart of New York to the coasts of Italy, these families have orchestrated some of the most notorious and shocking criminal activities ever witnessed. Let's delve deep into the world of these crime families and uncover their dark, scandalous secrets. Number 1. The Gambino Family, U.S., the Colossus of Crime in New York. The Gambino crime family, originating from New York City, stands as a monumental figure among the 5 families that have dominated organized crime activities in the United States for decades. Founded by Carlo Gambino in the early 20th century, the family has dipped its fingers in a plethora of illicit ventures, ranging from loan sharking and illegal gambling dens to extortion and high-profile assassinations. Their reign wasn't just marked by their expansive criminal enterprises, but also by the audacious manner in which they operated. The Gambino leadership, including names like John Gotti, became infamous for their brazen acts and ability to elude law enforcement, elevating the family to an almost mythical status in American Mafia lore. Number 2. The Genovis Family, U.S., the Ivy League of organized crime. The Genovis crime family, another behemoth among the notorious 5 families, has been often termed as the Ivy League of organized crime, testament to their influence and power. Established by Vito Genovis, the family's tentacles of control reached far and wide, particularly embedding themselves in legitimate sectors like the construction industry, waterfront labor unions, and numerous mainstream businesses. Their ability to operate within legitimate frameworks, while simultaneously orchestrating illicit operations, has allowed them to be both overtly influential and covertly deadly. This dual approach made them arguably the most formidable and entrenched mafia family in the history of American organized crime. Number 3. Banano Family, U.S., a saga of betrayal and resilience. Emerging from the bustling streets of New York, the Banano crime family is a classic tale of power, betrayal, and resilience. Founded by Joseph Joe Bananas Banano, the family quickly rose to prominence among the 5 families. Their ascent, however, was marred with internal feuds, notably the infamous Banano War in the 1960s, which nearly decimated their ranks. Despite such challenges, the Bananos displayed a tenacious spirit, bouncing back time and again. They've historically exerted control over vast territories, and their business interests have spanned from nightclubs and restaurants to vast illegal drug enterprises. Their legacy, marked by equal parts audacity and internal strife, makes them an enigmatic figure in the annals of organized crime. Number 4. Sicilian Mafia, Italy, the godfather of organized crime. The Sicilian Mafia, also known as Cosa Nostra, stands as a formidable institution within Italy's criminal landscape. Birthed amid the orange groves and ancient ruins of Sicily, this criminal syndicate has, over the decades, evolved from a localized band of honor-bound men to a sprawling entity with tentacles reaching far and wide. Historically, their influence has been so pervasive that they've managed to infiltrate various echelons of society, including politics, law enforcement, and business sectors. This vast network allowed them to manipulate the legal system, ensuring minimal interference in their activities. Key figures, like Salvatore Riina and Bernardo Provenzano, orchestrated a reign of terror, ensuring the mafia's dominance and its indomitable position in the annals of crime history. Number 5. Calabrian Drita, Italy, the silent behemoth of crime. While the 'Ndrangheta may be less celebrated in movies and TV shows compared to their Sicilian counterparts, their influence on the global crime scene is unmatched. Originating from Calabria, a region in southern Italy, this organization has kept a relatively low profile, allowing them to expand their operations largely unnoticed. This clandestine approach has enabled them to dominate global narcotics trade, particularly the cocaine business. Estimates suggest their annual revenue surpasses €50 billion, underscoring their massive economic might which rivals that of many legitimate multinational corporations. Beyond drugs, their operations extend to money laundering, business, and even politics. Despite their secretive nature, key figures like Giuseppe Morabito and Domenico Apedisano have emerged as significant leaders over the years. The 'Ndrangheta's significant raids and arrests, such as the one in 2010 that saw over 300 members detained, highlight their expansive network and the ongoing efforts to curb their influence. Number 6. Cosa Nostra, U.S., the American Dream, Mafia Style. From the dusty roads of Sicily to the bustling streets of New York, the Sicilian Mafia brought their criminal traditions with them as they sought new opportunities in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. This cultural shift led to the formation of the American Cosa Nostra, which, while reflecting its Sicilian roots, carved a unique identity in the annals of U.S. crime. Through the 20th century, their influence grew exponentially, managing vast illegal enterprises from gambling and prostitution to wielding power within labor unions and even dipping their fingers into the glitzy pot of Hollywood. Their financial successes were staggering, with some estimates suggesting they amassed hundreds of millions annually at their peak, rivaling legitimate big businesses. The likes of Al Capone, John Gotti, and Lucky Luciano didn't just become titans of the underworld, they were also cemented as pop culture legends. Their blend of brutality, charisma, and business acumen became emblematic of the Mafia's twisted take on the American dream. Number 7. Sinaloa Cartel, Mexico, the drug empire's crown jewel. The Sinaloa Cartel, based in the Mexican state of the same name, stands as a juggernaut within the international drug trafficking scene. Under the leadership of the infamous Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, the cartel has forged a reputation for being both innovative and ruthlessly efficient. Their complex tunneling systems for smuggling, vast distribution networks, and strategic alliances with other criminal groups allowed them to control a significant portion of the global narcotics trade, especially heroin, marijuana, and methamphetamine. With their power, however, came inevitable violence. Territories, routes, and even local political positions were hotly contested, leading to thousands of deaths and establishing the Sinaloa cartel's legacy of blood and dominance. Today, even with El Chapo imprisoned, the cartel's operations continue under the watchful eyes of his sons, Ivan Archibaldo and Jesus Alfredo Guzman. Number 8. Medellin Cartel, Colombia, cocaine's kingpin. In the 1980s and early 1990s, one name was synonymous with cocaine: Pablo Escobar. As the head of the Medellin cartel, Escobar orchestrated a drug empire that was responsible for a staggering 80% of the cocaine sent to the U.S. The vast revenues, estimated in the billions annually, allowed Escobar to lead a life of opulence, even going so far as to establish a luxurious estate named Hacienda Napoles. However, his wealth also purchased violence. From bombings to assassinations, the Medellin cartel's methods to maintain dominance were brutal and uncompromising, leaving a dark stain on Colombia's history. Apart from Escobar, figures like Griselda Blanco, aka the Black Widow, also played pivotal roles in the cartel's operations and notoriety. Number 9. Camorra, Italy, Naples' persistent shadow. The Camorra, unlike its other Italian mafia counterparts, has always been more decentralized, operating more as a collection of clans than a unified entity. With roots stretching back to the 18th century in Naples, it is Italy's oldest criminal organization. Over the years, they've diversified their criminal portfolio. While involved in traditional rackets like gambling and prostitution, they've also delved into counterfeiting, especially of high-quality goods, and even waste management, the latter leading to significant environmental and health issues in the Naples region. Their pervasive influence has made them a constant and elusive challenge for Italian law enforcement. Prominent figures, like Paolo Di Loro, have been at the epicenter of Camorra's operations and the subsequent crackdowns. Number 10. Los Zetas, Mexico, brutality's new benchmark. When one thinks of the application of military strategy and discipline to organized crime, Los Zetas immediately come to mind. Originally formed by deserters from Mexico's elite military forces, this cartel quickly became notorious for their sheer brutality. Beheadings, mass killings, and public displays of victims became their hallmark, sending chilling messages to rivals and authorities alike. Their audaciousness extended to challenging established cartels, including the mighty Sinaloa, for lucrative drug routes and territories. Their violent tactics and military precision made them one of the most feared criminal groups in Mexico's turbulent drug war landscape. Leaders like Heriberto Lazcano, known as the Executioner, and Miguel Trevino Morales have become synonymous with the reign of terror inflicted by Los Zetas.